Hello, welcome to this vlog about a recent drawing trip I took, starting in Ghent in Belgium, moving on to Paris and then finishing up in Nantes in France. Hope you enjoy it. There were so many different things you could draw in Ghent, but also it was very, very busy, lots of tourists. So I headed off to find somewhere a bit quieter and chose this flower shop on the corner of the street. I had quite a nice view of the rooftops from my hotel window, so I made a drawing one morning. The building in the far distance is the Opera House. As well as all the very beautiful buildings in the centre, it was nice to take a bit of a walk to the old industrial area where a group of us made some drawings of all the old cranes at the dockside. After leaving the industrial part of the city, the old industrial part, moved to St. Bavo's Abbey. It was a former monastery and it's now a bit of a green oasis in the city. Part ruin, part garden. It was refreshing to sit down and draw there, and I felt like I'd slowed down a bit. I chose to draw the view through the archways of the cloister and tried to capture the contrast between the building, the darkness in the building, and the bright sunshine outside. I thought I'd have a go at drawing the city pavilion. It's this modern piece of architecture right in the centre. There was a food market on the weekend we were there. I started off with watercolour, going for the watercolour shapes of the outside. Then I went on to add sort of the dark shadows of the interior. You could sort of see through to the other side and the chimney as well. Some of the foreground elements to sort of give a bit of scale of the sort of size of it. And then finishing off with the old cathedral building in the background, because I thought that was quite a nice contrast of the two together. So after a lovely few days in Ghent, it was time to move on to the next destination, on to Paris. I met up with Karen Jones, one of the people I was travelling with, to draw this view of the Eiffel Tower from a very busy street corner. We found it through looking at the best places to take Instagram pictures in Paris. But I'm not sure how many people have actually sat on this corner and drawn instead. The weather in Paris wasn't too wonderful, so I headed to Galerie Lafayette to make some drawings from the views from there. It's a really fabulous place to go to. The decoration is wild. It's like a theatre of shopping, I suppose you call it, but it's really fantastic. So for the price for coffee, you can sit and try and draw some of it. I just did a little segment of the roof. There was time for a quick visit to the house of Victor Hugo, and I also managed to meet up and have a brief chat with the lovely Carol Gillett, who's on Instagram as Paris Breakfast. One last look of Paris at the Montparnasse station, and then the next stop, Nantes. After all the hustle and bustle of Paris, I felt like I wanted to take a bit of a walk in Nantes and just have a look at the area. So I walked across one of the bridges to the sort of big island there and found a spot to do a drawing looking back across to the main part of the city. I started off putting down some quick pencil lines, then added the sky, then the sort of mid-ground part of the river, part of the background, and then went in with the foreground. The reason for coming to Nantes was because it was the French Urban Sketchers annual meetup, and by the time I got back to the city, in the main part of the city, the sketchers were already out in force. we'd been recommended a restaurant called La Cigale in the city, so went there for breakfast. It was a highly decorated interior, lots of tiles, bits of stained glass. Every sort of surface seemed to be covered with some sort of decoration. The organisers had chosen a variety of locations for us to draw. This one was in one of the main squares with Margot, and then a bit later on I went into this big sort of old arcade to draw some of the archways. Another location that had been chosen was a little fishing village called Trentmout. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies to anyone French. It was really pretty, lots of painted houses, lots of flowers. Everywhere looked like it was just really nicely put together. Another interesting location that had been chosen for us to visit and draw was the Ile de Machine, which was a former area where the docks had been, and they'd built these mechanical creatures. This elephant, everyone enjoyed watching it, and also the people that were travelling on it seemed to enjoy it too. It was really lovely, and also loved the ears, which just seemed to be made of like leather, sort of patched together. It sort of brought out the child in even the sort of grumpiest adult, I think. I made a last sketch, drawing the back of the cathedral over breakfast in the cafe. It was such a nice trip to Nantes, and the organisers of the French annual event always do such a good job. I'll put a video together soon showing the actual sketchbook from the trip and show it page by page. But for now, thank you for watching.